Welcome back to my channel. Alright, so today I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. My pumpkin pie. So in this chopper, I already have some quinoa and maybe 2 tablespoons of cashew butter. And what else did I add on there? I added a teaspoon or 2 of this wild honey, probably a tablespoon, which is a teaspoon or 2, right? Alright, so I didn't add a pinch of salt, or did I? Maybe I did, but either way, yeah, salt, cinnamon, some creamer, you already know, dairy free. I'm winging it, you already know that, right? Alright, so I'm going to add this rest of this quinoa into here, but that's what's in here already. Oh, and my mixed chopped nuts. So in my jar are already chopped nuts. You guys already know, if you're watching my channel, I have some raw organic hazelnuts. I have some organic pumpkin seeds in there. I have organic cashews. I have some organic pistachios. And I have some organic raw Brazil nuts. Most of it, though, are pumpkin seeds and cashews. And a little bit of the other stuff. Alright, so in here though, in this bowl, which is my pumpkin mix, I have half a can of organic pumpkin puree, which is not sweet, it's very bland. It is organic. So what I did was I added some syrup. Now how much syrup, I don't really know. Maybe 3 tablespoons. And I added some salt, sea salt, and some cinnamon. So what I'm going to do is finish chopping this up. I'm going to layer that on the bottom of this bowl. Actually, no. This bowl, so it can go in the oven. And I'm going to put my pumpkin on top. And then probably sprinkle some chopped nuts over it. Yep. Okay, so I added the quinoa. I added a little more honey, maybe a teaspoon more. And I put it all in my chopper. And I just kept going. Ended up being a big lump, and what you do is you take it out. I oiled this with a tiny bit of olive oil, just a tiny bit so it doesn't stick. And I just spread it all very carefully on the bottom. This is my crust. So that's going to be my crust. Again, you already saw it was quinoa and some cashew butter and some honey and some mixed nuts. And this is the quinoa that I used. I forgot to show it. It was cooked. So now I'm going to add this on top of this. Alright, so I added my pumpkin puree with my syrup, a little bit of salt, a little bit of cinnamon on top of my crust I have here going. I'm going to put it on the oven, or in the oven. The oven's on 425, and I'm just going to keep watching it because I really don't know what it's going to do because I'm just winging it. But I know when I think it's almost done, I'm going to add more chopped nuts on top. So my pumpkin pie here dessert has been in the oven probably like 17 minutes. I really don't know when it's going to be done, what I think is done, but you see right here it looks a little darker and that still looks a little more puree. I just started to top it with my mixed nuts. I did chop up some more and I added a tiny bit more honey into it, like less than a teaspoon, just to make it more of like a honey nut flavor, in case it wasn't, you know, sweet enough already. That's a joke. Alright, so this is the rest of my nuts in here with my little bit of honey and a little bit of sea salt. These are my nuts. My jar of mixed nuts. I already showed all the nuts that I was using. So I'm going to finish covering this. I'm going to put it back in the oven for, I don't know, 5 minutes. See what happens. Alright, so my pumpkin pie is done. It was in the oven for about 35-40 minutes on 425. It's always a guessing game of what I'm going to do, but it does taste good. I think what I should have done though is I should have put it in the oven with the crust on the bottom first without adding the pumpkin on top. So that way it would have got a little harder, but it is stuck on the bottom, so it is cooked. But in all, it's a pretty mushy consistency, but it's delicious. And what I did was I topped with the nuts like I showed you, and I pushed down with the spoon after like 10 minutes. I just went like that because I didn't want the nuts on top to burn as I kept it back in. So I pushed it down so they got moist by the pumpkin. So 425, 40 minutes. It is good. It's very soft. It's mushy. It's not like a hard crust on the bottom. It's delicious. Call it whatever you want. You already know. Just call it delicious. Like, share, subscribe. Take care of your mind, your body, your spirit. You want to throw some chocolate chips in there, go for it. It'll probably taste really good. Matter of fact, I know it would. I'm not going to do that. Maybe I will. No, I don't know. At the moment, I'm not. Like, share, subscribe. This is my version of a pumpkin dessert. I had half a can of pumpkin. I had to use it instead of freezing it and making something that way. This is what I decided to do. Bake it. Like, share, subscribe. It is great for a pumpkin dessert on a holiday or on a random spring day. I send you guys love and light. No added sugar. No, creamer does have cane sugar in it. Yes, syrup has, you know, it's naturally sweet. Honey is naturally sweet. No added sugar. Gluten-free. Dairy-free. Delicious. You already know. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Thanks, gals.